You're really paying attention. You're really practicing the act of listening so that you can show them real, true valued appreciation.
Equipping creative businesses to unleash their best work.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Chief Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Pead, founder and owner of Chief Creative Partners, where you get to create because we operate for you. And today we're back on the front porch. If you have been around the podcast for a minute, you know that every now and then I do what I call the front porch editions. And if you haven't heard it already on the audio version or whatever way you're taking in this content, we got a new wind chime for our 20th wedding anniversary this year, given to us by our amazing in-loves, as we call them. And so anyway, my goal with these front porch editions is to kind of give you here's something I've been thinking about. Here's something that I've been wrestling with and trying to figure out the best way to go about in life or business. And today I want to share with you something that I've been tossing around to several of our partners and having conversations with. And it's this idea of business appreciation languages. And so where this came from was a mix of a couple places. I have read many years ago the book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages. If you don't know the 5 Love Languages, go check it out, especially if you're in a spousal relationship. It's really fantastic. Basically, it helps you understand how each of you give and receive love. And translating that into business for me in the last 3 years, because I always want to make sure that I am speaking the language of my partners in which they feel the most valued. And I think all of us, if we're, business owners, especially creative business owners, we value those relationships. We get to create together. We get to collaborate together. So how do we do that? And in which ways are they going to best receive it? And if you know, again, if you've been around the podcast for a while, you've heard me talk about the book Giftology. And Giftology is an amazing short book. Basically, teaches you the practice of active listening so that you can basically gift better to people, right? So that you can show them that you're really caring and paying attention rather than just taking in generic gift cards and things like that. So you're really paying attention. You're really practicing the act of listening so that you can show them real, true, valued appreciation. And so I got to start practicing that in my business, and I had some fairly good feedback at first. But what I started to notice was that not everybody feels appreciated by gift giving. That's hard for me to understand because I love gifts. I love to get gifts. I love to give gifts. So if you're listening or watching to this and you want to send me a gift, I would love it. And I would feel greatly valued and appreciated by that. But there's also other ways to feel valued and appreciated. And I think it's important for us as business owners to make sure we are speaking the language of our partners in the area of appreciation, right? It's not love language. It's not a romantic love relationship, but we do love working with our partners. And so what does that look like for us? And so kind of started thinking about, well, if the gift thing isn't hitting everybody really well, maybe it's more than just gifts that speak to their level of how they receive appreciation, how they feel appreciated as a business partner of mine. And again, we call our clients partners. But anyway, clients, customers, partners, whatever, doesn't matter. If you're doing business with them or you're doing business alongside of them, what does it look like for you to actually be able to appreciate? Because I believe when we do that well, that it is our best marketing tool and it's our best scalability tool and it's our best longevity tool as a business owner, especially as a creative business owner. And so I began to explore and have some conversations with some of my friends and partners about what if instead of just Giftology, what if there were also other languages of appreciation? And it took me back to my days of the 5 love languages with Gary Chapman. And so I said, well, what are the 5 love languages, right? There's acts of service. Okay, I can see how that's one. We'll talk about that in a second. There's words of affirmation, high on my list. There's gift giving, which is, obviously right there in Giftology. There's quality time. spending quality time together. And then in the 5 love languages, there's physical touch. Now, this is where I was like, okay, we're tracking through the love languages. Oh, I can see how all of these match, in the business partnership world. But physical touch, I don't know how we do that. And so then I started to have conversations, explore. Everybody was like, yeah, man, words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, quality time. I can see how all of those pair into our business relationships. Physical touch, not so much. But then I got thinking, okay, well, what's something that's missing out of those 4 already? And I think it's advocacy. And what I mean by advocacy is actively promoting someone else's work. If you follow along the stuff that I do, I love curating content. I love to be able to take other people's content and point other people to it and say, you should read this, you should watch this, you should listen to this. And it may or may not be my content. More often than not, it's not my content, because I believe that everyone has something to say and something to share and something to contribute. And so I want to point people to that. And advocacy is a way of pointing, hey, my business partner, my client, my associate, my customer, whatever you want to call them, they are really great at landscaping. Do you need a landscaper? Because I know a great one. And you're going to connect those two, and you're going to become an advocate for your client to get more business. And so I started thinking, okay, maybe these languages are not necessarily love languages. Maybe they're appreciation languages. So words of affirmation, right? We recognize wins. We compliment the vision. We tell someone when something is great out loud, not just in our heads. Acts of service is noticing a problem and solving it before they even have to know about it, right? I'm going to go out of my way. I'm going to solve a problem that you don't see. I'm going to serve you in your business. Gift giving is easy. Read Giftology, learn all about that. Quality time is investing in the relationship beyond just the transaction. Hey, do you want to go grab a beer after work today? Hey, do you want to grab some coffee? Do you want to grab some lunch? We're having a cookout this week in our house. Would you like to come over? Things like that. That's quality time. And then, of course, advocacy. And so I started thinking, well, I wonder what my partners are when it comes to these business appreciation language. And so I just started asking them, hey, what is your business love language? What is your business appreciation language? And I kind of explained to them, here's the 5. And so I just sent out a form to them. I love forms. I love surveys. I love to collect that data so I can actually know, because sometimes people may not give you the full 100% truth. They may not be comfortable diverging that right to your face. But if they can kind of do it sideways and on a digital form or a written thing, they might be more apt to share their full kind of, this is how I really feel when I'm away from that person. And so I just asked them to rate each of those 5 from 1 to 10. And what makes you genuinely feel value as a partner? So words of affirmation. Does my partner, does this person that I'm in a business relationship with, do they recognize my wins? Do they compliment my vision? Do they tell me when something looks and feels and is really great about what we're doing? Acts of service. Do they notice problems that I didn't ask them to solve and just go ahead and handle it anyway? Gift giving, right? They remember meaningful details and acknowledge milestones with thoughtful, personal gestures, right? That's what the whole Giftology book is about. Quality time, like, hey, I love it when my business partners, I feel the most appreciated when they invest in the relationship beyond just the project, right? It's a call to connect, lunch, a genuine presence, and not spending time on your phone while you're hanging out with them. And then advocacy, like we talked about. The partner actively promotes my work. They refer business my way, and they treat my success as their own success. And then I ended it with this. So I had them rate each of those 1 to 10. What's most, 10 being they feel the most valued when that happens, and 1, it doesn't really move the needle for them, right? And then I ended it with hey, can you just describe a time when some type of vendor, partner, colleague made you feel genuinely valued? What did they do? And so it gave me not just the context of that scale, which was really eye-opening, but it also gave me a story example to kind of put a visual around how they actually got and received that appreciation. And so I don't have an answer for this. I'm still wrestling through this, but I feel like we're onto something. And I don't know if I don't know what the copyright law looks like for doing a book like this. I've tried to do a little bit of research, and obviously we're in the middle of writing my other book right now, but I just think there's something to business partnerships and relationships and true authentic community and collaboration and growing and building our businesses together. Like, we're better together, right? I just think there's something important for that, especially for us in creative businesses, because we get so siloed into our own little world, and we have to do this and we have to do that and we have to shift over here and we have to change this. And we just forget that there's like people that can link arms with us, whether it's our clients or our other business associates that are adjacent to us and other colleagues and collaborations and things like that. So, so I just want to share that with you. That's my front porch thought. I'm gonna do these front porch conversations whenever there's a fifth week. As you've noticed, maybe we've shifted the podcast to be the first and third Thursday of the month, with the second and fourth Thursdays of the month being a kind of a segment or a clip, if you will, from that podcast. It just gives me a little bit more time to make sure I'm giving you the best possible content. I'm working on some more interviews for this show so that you're not always having to hear from me. And we're able to kind of curate some of those conversations for you. But I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these resonates the most with you? Which one of these appreciation languages, business appreciation languages, resonates with you the most? And I'll be honest, I've started to get some feedback from my partners already, and some that I am like, man, I'm really excited about this gift that I got them. What I realized after doing this is like, yeah, that they liked that was cool. But it's not the thing that's going to make it the most memorable. Because when they answered the survey, I was like, oh, actually, they're more advocacy and quality time, or they're more acts of service and words of affirmation more than they are gift giving. And if it's gift giving, great, I've got that figured out. If it's the others, I'm wrestling with, okay, what's the best way for me to do that on a regular basis and not necessarily make it 100% solely milestone based. So that's the show today. Next week, I know we took a month off of writing the book. I have been writing, and I'm super, super excited to bring you the next chapter, which is the capacity compass is what we're calling it. For how do we as a creative business understand and navigate through what our current capacity is on any given week as we begin to take on more and more work? What's our capacity? If we say yes to everything and we say yes to giving everything tomorrow, we're setting ourselves up for failure, us and our teams. So how do we actually put that in black and white and on paper, go, here is our capacity that we can handle right now? Manufacturing industries have become brilliant at this. And so I studied them a little bit, and so I started to understand what makes a good capacity compass for a creative business. And we're going to talk about that next time on the Chief Creative Podcast. Y'all have a good week.